I don't know about you, but these international breaks seem to take an age to finish. We wait all summer football to come back. After 3 weeks, they chuck one of these international breaks in, and there's another one coming up in a few weeks again. I mean, that's just my start of pod gripe. Moan, finish, done. I'm your host SJ, and welcome to a news review from Block 5. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow wherever you're taking the podcast. Thank you very much. So yeah, Premier League football returns this Saturday, and we're the first game, early kickoff, 12:30. At the Fortress, the Emirates versus Nottingham Forest. Both of us and Nottingham Forest, are both coming off the back of defeats before the international break. Obviously, we lost 1-0 to Liverpool. We saw the media backlash. Um, it's just normal with Arsenal. And Nottingham Forest lost 3-0 at home to West Ham, a struggling West Ham, which has led to the dismissal of Nuno Espirito Santo. I'm not sure the two are linked because it seemed that he was itching for a sacking for quite a while now because I think his relationship with Edu um, seemed to have broken down and he just wanted to get out without actually losing any money resigning. Sack me and I can keep my money. And he got his wish. And we all know who he's been replaced by. Them down the road, former manager, Big Ange Postecoglou. It'll be interesting how he approaches this game, but we'll get into that. So, I mean, just from an injury front, we've found out that William Saliba's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Well, that was last week, so hopefully now it's 2 to 3 weeks with no injury setbacks. We all know about Kai Saka being out and Kai Havertz, another long-term absentee. It seems all our players made it through the international break with no injuries, or not that I've seen. So that's good. I actually have some players that shone on the international break, especially Noni Madueke, playing on the right-hand side. But very comfortable in the last two games against Andorra and Serbia, respectively. I mean, not great opposition, but you've got to beat what's in front of you. And he looked very confident on that right-hand side. Yeah, I mean, Martin Odegaard, we had an injury before the break, didn't start against Liverpool, came off the bench. He played 45 minutes against Estonia and then played the full 90 minutes at home in an 11-1 win against Moldova for Norway. So he seems to be over his injury woes, which is good news for us. Uh, Eze, yeah, I don't want to give credit. I don't want to give any oxygen to some of these pundits who came after Eze after his performance against Andorra in the number 10 role. I've seen other Arsenal pundits say it's because he's an Arsenal player now, he gets a stick. And I'm starting to believe it myself now, to be honest. But yeah, it's neither here nor there. We forget them and we move on. So, just looking at our previous history at the Emirates against Nottingham Forest, they don't really trouble us. It's, you know what I mean? Going back to as far as 1995, they've not won any competition against us at the Emirates. Where they do beat us is at their ground, the City ground. We have struggled there a couple of times down the years. More noticeably, the FA Cup recently, when it was all in an all-white kit. The game where Mikel Arteta dragged off Nuno Tavares in the first half. Um, and we also lost in the league a couple of years back at their ground. A solitary goal from Taiwo Awoniyi. So yeah, I don't think it's a game where we get troubled at home by them. Um, so yeah, I mean that will reflect in my score prediction at the end, how I think this will go. Um, so just looking at how we should be approaching this game, it's back to normal. I mean, Nottingham Forest, well, under Nuno, they were heavily reliable on the counter attack. They're one of the lowest possession stats of all teams, almost all the teams in the Premier League. They relied on deep block, and then you hit everyone on the break. Alanga would go, Morgan gives White, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Obviously, Alanga's now moved on to Newcastle, and Gibbs White was on the verge of leaving before their chairman, owner Marinakis, got involved and said, hell no. But they still play a similar way. They still play a similar way as what they're known under Nuno. And yeah, under Big Ange, I'm not sure if he'll bring his philosophy that he had at Tottenham, and Celtic, all out attack kind of mentality. If he's got the players for that, not sure. Obviously, transfer window shut now. He can't make any changes, so he has to make do with what he has. He still has very good attackers. Um, I think Ndoye on the right hand side. Still got Callum Hudson-Odoi, uh, Chris Wood, a very prolific season last season, and he started this season very well as well. Scored a couple of goals. Um, and Morgan Gibbs White, as I mentioned before. They've also got Douglas Luiz, a player that I thought we could have maybe gone for um, from Juventus. And Zinchenko, I don't think Zinchenko will be eligible to play because he's on loan from us. But it's going to be interesting to see how he fits into their plans this season, if at all he gets to play at all. Um, so, from my perspective, I think we will have a lot of the ball. I think it will be similar to Lee's game. Not as dominant because I think Nottingham Forest are a decent team. Got a couple players that can get on the ball and make a few passes. So it won't be like Leeds where they just got the ball and pumped it out and we came back and kept the pressure on them. I think Forest do have the capability to keep the ball and string together 5 to 10 passes. Their centre back defensive duo, um, I can't say his name, Milenkovic and Murillo, solid, two solid players. And the fullback area, Nico Williams and Ola Anya. I mean, yeah, I mean their back five, including their keeper cells, they're a very decent back five, very solid, not easy to break down. If whipping crosses into the box, their centre back, like I keep saying his name, Milenkovic, is about 6'7". So if you're going to put balls in, you're going to want to keep it away from him because you'll clear it with ease. To be honest, um, just go. I mean, I might as well just say the team at the same time. It will be the same team, I think, from Liverpool, except we will switch out Martinelli and Eze will come in my opinion, and Martin Odegaard will come in for Marino. Even though I'd even give Marino a shout out, I said our players done well during the international break. Mikel Marino scored a hat trick for Spain over the break. Um, it's interesting what kind of position he's actually meant for. Historically, I think of all four, he's a defensive mid type of player. But he's got an eye for goal, as we saw last season. He helped us out very well last season. And he just had a knack of getting in the box at the right time. And his left foot is very sweet. He's got a very good one-touch finish, as we all saw against Real Madrid for that third goal in that game at home. He scored a similar sweeping goal over the international break. So yeah, um, it's interesting where he fits in our team. 'Cause I'm not sure he is. I personally don't like him as a left eight, um, but he does show the abilities to score goals. So if he's able just to time his runs, make the third man runs into the box, he can be helpful. Well, yeah, I'm going off on a tangent on Marino. He played very well during the international break. So yeah, I mean it'll be Zubimendi holding, Rice left eight, Martin Odegaard up front, Gyökeres on the right, Noni, and on the left, Eze. With Gyökeres, he didn't have the greatest game against Liverpool. It's a bit difficult. I mean, we're talking about playing against Van Dijk and Konate. You're not going to play the Van Dijk Konate every week. Probably the best defensive duo outside R2 in the league. So it's been a tough start for him. Old Trafford's not easy place to go to. Leeds at home, not difficult, and he showed his qualities there. And Anfield. So I think the season will just be up. I think on the rise he will be this season. He'll only get better. He's spending more time with the players, they're getting to know his game. He's getting to know our game. So yeah, I have no worries about Gyökeres. And I do actually see him scoring this game against Forest, to be honest. Um, we just need to keep playing those balls quickly over the top for him. I don't think their centre backs are the quickest. I think that's why they play a lower block, a deeper block. So if they push up, we have the pace to get in behind, right across the front. Um, so I'm not expecting them to do that. So yeah, I mean they under Ange, do I expect him? No, I don't expect him. Kind of rambling right now. But stick with me on this ramble. I think that we're gonna win this 2-0. Will it be comfortable? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what our 12:30 kickoff record is. As a fan, personally, I love 12:30 kickoffs because we get to go to games, watch it. They finish about 2:30, quarter to three, and you feel like you still have a bit of your Saturday left to go. You know what I mean? Even especially the away games. If you go up north for the away games, you get back and it's still 6 in the evening, so you still got a bit of your Saturday left. The only thing about 12:30 kickoffs is if you lose, your day's pretty ruined. You can't really watch match a day. Well, personally, when we lose, I don't watch match a day because I just don't want to see that because I know what's going to be said about us. Um, so yeah, well, I think we'll win this 2-0. Um, I don't think it will be too much of a problem. I'm expecting Noni, who seems to be in a rich, well, not rich vein of form, a decent international break. He's probably on form in the last couple days. Hopefully, he brings that to us and gives Forest a bit of problems. But Mendy, I saw a couple people online saying, "What does he do?" He's a bit too small and not really um, physical, and got overrun by Liverpool at times, which I don't really agree with. Uh, if you actually watch him carefully, he does make very cute interceptions, and he knows when to take a foul, and he does his tackles are clean. Um, and so often sometimes he's in there by himself, and you'll get strikers drop in. So you'll have a striker and maybe a 10 or a left day either side of him, which is pretty difficult. And it was very noticeable against Liverpool in that second half. And against Man United in the first game, where Cunha and Mbeumo just fall into that little pocket between the midfield and defence, but with him in the middle of the two lines. So yeah, I mean, he's doing well. I think his passing's great. He's keeps it ticking over. I expect him to do the same again on Saturday. So yeah, I mean, let me know in the comments what you think the score prediction will be. 2-0. That's my prediction. So yeah, I mean, my predictions are never good. I'm 0-2 so far this season. 0-3, sorry, this season. But again, for me, I'm on the up. I'm gonna get it right this week. Um, so yeah, we're gonna be back after the game. Hopefully, 2-0 holds up, and we can all celebrate together. So until post game, all the best.